Well, let me say welcome. Let me say good morning and welcome once again to our GBN TV viewers this morning. Wherever you're in us from, whether it's Channel 11, Channel 7, or Channel 20. Good morning to you. Hey, those of you via our Facebook page, good morning. Yes, good morning to social media this morning. Let's say good morning those of you via Facebook. Don't forget to share the live. Those of you via YouTube, good morning to you also. Hope all is well. Welcome to Good Morning Grenada. Let me go over to my co-host via Hot 98, and I'm assuming he's all get up to go this morning. Let me say good morning to you, Gary. Gary, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Morning. What's up with you this morning, man?
What's going on?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. It's Thursday. Yeah, about to wrap this week up already, man. Imagine that, right? Busy week.
Time waits on no man.
Yeah. Bit of a shortened week, though. We had Monday being a holiday and stuff.
Well, really short.
Pretty short week, I would say. 4 days kind of week. It could be like that.
Yeah, well,
anyway.
We can do it a lot more of those, I can tell you.
I was saying the other day, I think we have too much holidays, but you saying we don't have enough. Well, I guess you just like those time off anyway.
Who doesn't?
Oh, well, I kind of, sometimes I consider myself a bit of a work jumbie sometimes. I kind of maybe do too much. Yeah. So you know how it goes. Well, it's Good Morning Grenada. We're back live this morning once again. Thanks for those of you who are viewing, those who have channeled in already via, of course, social media. Good morning to you. Those of you via GBN TV, good morning. And welcome once again to Good Morning Grenada. And as usual, we got lots to try to do this morning. We got the word of the day coming up. We have for you your thought of the day. We have for you, of course, your Did You Know segment and a health tip. And as usual, a riddle for the morning. So let's get things going, Gary. You jump directly into, of course, the word of the day.
Yeah, don't mind if I do once I can successfully scroll all the way up to the tippy top. All right. Once again, good morning. Juxtapose. That's your word of the day. Juxtapose. It's spelled Juxtapose. Juxtapose. It's a verb. And its meaning is simple. To place different things side by side as to compare them or contrast them or to create an interesting effect. Now, the committee juxtapose the proposals for the new student. All right? Here is another one. There is the original wooden floorboards juxtaposing a glossy stop and stair curved timber wall that extends from behind the counter to the ceiling above. Once again, your word of the day, juxtapose.
That's the word of the day. And we're moving on this morning, folks. We're moving up to make that 26 minutes moving up before the top of the hour. Let's get into a thought of the day for today. And the thought of the day goes like this. People who love do not dwell on one another's mistakes. May I repeat that for you once again? People who love do not dwell on one another's mistakes. That's a bit of an African proverb there for you. And with that being the thought of the day, I'll leave my bro Gary to expand on it just a wee bit this morning. Let's go in depth with it just a wee bit.
Well, we live in a world where people, including ourselves, make mistakes, right? The world in which humans don't make mistake only exists in the imagination. It is not real. Someone has said before, pencils have erasers because people make mistakes. But of course, it is not as simple as that. Pencils have no emotions, but people do. And managing emotions can be quite a challenging task. C.S. Lewis once said, everyone thinks forgiveness is a lovely idea until he or she has something to forgive. But the fact that it is difficult does not excuse us for not doing it. Oftentimes we are unfairly favorable to ourselves. We want to forgive us, but we want people to forgive us, but we are not willing to forgive others. We want people to remember our good deeds and forget our bad deeds, but remember people's bad deeds and forget their good deeds. We are quick to criticize than we are to to compliment. Where do you stand, my friends?
I will see a bit of expanding on the thought of a day for today. It's Good Morning Grenada. Let's get into our Did You Know segment. And as usual, always interesting for you. And sometimes we throw those Did You Knows and you wonder for yourself, I didn't know that. Well, if you didn't know, you will. Let's take and get a peek at our Did You Know segment this morning. Now, did you know you should throw away the cotton in your medication bottles? Did you know that? Here's the reasons why. Believe it or not, that little ball of cotton that comes in your bottle of pills, which is always kept, which we keep pills safe during shipping. Now, that is meant to be removed. It can collect moisture, and because of its absorbent nature, which makes your pills deteriorate faster. So, Gary, lots of time folks say, you buy these bottles of pills from time to time and you see that bottle, that ball of cotton that is inside there. So, folks, if you didn't know, you should remove it. Because sometimes you find, you ever have a bottle of pills, Gary, then you find after a couple of weeks you purchase it, you see it start changing color and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes folks never pay attention to that. And it's the reason for that sometimes is
I didn't know that, to be honest.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah.
I've never removed that ball of cotton.
Yeah.
Never.
People always thought that you keep it there, probably going to eliminate dirt getting into the bottle or something in the bottle, but you should remove that because, cotton absorbs the moisture. They just put it in there for the shipping purpose. Yeah, for the shipping purpose. And by keeping it there, it's certainly going to help your pills deteriorate faster. So, if you didn't know, folks,
now I know.
Now you know.
GT, you didn't know that either. Don't play it. You knew that all along.
Gary, I knew that, man. I was saying that. I was saying that would come
to your home right now. Go into your medicine cabinet, and I open all the bottles. The cotton ball is in there.
Gary, you wouldn't find that, my brother. You wouldn't find that. I knew that a long time. I was saying that with confidence because I knew.
Well, being the technical mind that you are, I'm sure you are
all right,
correct.
Man.
You are.
Hey, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we get into a health tip and the riddles. We'll be coming back. Just a short break, folks. We're coming right back. Don't touch your dial.
Join GBN on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. for Interesting Grenadians, a program that showcases the lives of interesting and outstanding Grenadians at home and abroad. It's Interesting Grenadians every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on GBN. Don't you miss it.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high.
We certainly said it was going to be a short break, and it is a short break this morning here on Good Morning Grenada. Hey, those of you heading to work, you got to be there for 7 a.m. You just have about 20 minutes, not about 20 minutes to be there on time. So I encourage you to get a move on, and if you certainly want to be there on time. Hey, someone say hit me up at 7 a.m. You got exactly 19 minutes to get that taken care of. So get up and run, get that taken care of, all right? It's Good Morning Grenada, and we're back. Should be making that link. We're back shortly with my bro Gary via Hot 98. Stay locked on for that. We got coming up for you. So we have coming up your health tip for this morning. We have coming up also the riddle for today. Yes, compliments of good folks at Sleepy Dappers. Also, the health will come to you compliments Mitchell's Health and Wellness. So stick around for that. It's Good Morning Grenada. Let me say good morning once again to our online listeners, those of you via gbn.gd. Good morning. Of course, the network's website. Those of you via social media pages, yes, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. Good morning to you. Don't forget, if you're via Facebook, don't forget to share the live. Share the live. And certainly hope you're having an awesome morning thus far. Those of you out there in the diaspora. Yeah, sometimes I had a bit of like to say diaspora, you know what it means, right? Makes you get that kind of impression when you say the word, right? Anyway, good morning to you folks once again. So we're getting set for and ready to go with our health tip for this morning, and we say, Gary, welcome back. We are back live. I've been back.
You guys were waiting on me?
Yeah, we're back for a wee bit. I've been back for a wee bit, man. But nevertheless, let's roll on. Let's get set to hit off the folks with our health tip this morning. Let's come to the kind compliments of Mitchell's Health and Wellness Pharmacy, where your family's health is our business. Let's get into the health tip this morning.
Well, during the height of the coronavirus, we've been told and we've heard quite a bit about zinc.
Yeah.
All right. Yesterday we started off with what was it yesterday? I think it was
the potassium. Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. Now let's look at zinc and its deficiency in the human body. Now, zinc deficiency is when the body does not have enough of the mineral zinc. Zinc is important for the immune system, wound healing, and normal growth and development during pregnancy, childhood, and adolescence. Now, what are the symptoms of zinc deficiency? Zinc deficiency can result in skin changes that look like eczema at first. There may be cracks and a glazed appearance on the skin, often found around the mouth, nappy area, and hands. The rash doesn't get better with moisturizers or steroid creams or lotions. Keep that in mind. Now, people with zinc deficiency may also experience hair loss, changes in their nails, diarrhea, more infections. Hence the reason why you top up on your zinc during the height of the COVID-19 virus. All right?
All right.
So you get the feeling of irritability, loss of appetite, and impotence. The last one should be very concerning, but we'll leave that right there. That's it, my friends.
Hey, so you saying I'm lacking zinc because I don't have hair? Anyway, man, I was just trying to be funny. Let's just leave that there. Anyway, folks, let's get set for a riddle this morning, which comes to the kind compliments of Sleepy Dappers, the all-natural unorganic choice for your baby's complete comfort. And don't forget, you can get Sleepy Dappers at your favorite shop and supermarkets island-wide. Hey, Gary.
Before you get into the riddle, I have a question for you.
Tell me.
What does the Easter Bunny do after it takes a shower?
What does the Easter Bunny do after it takes a shower? Well, does an Easter Bunny actually take a shower?
That's only for GT to answer.
Wait, does the Easter Bunny actually take a shower? Bunnies take showers? I don't think bunnies actually take showers, right?
Well,
yeah.
We are. Hey,
well,
just answer the question, man.
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Tell me.
It uses a hair dryer. HARE, hair, as in a animal. It uses a hair dryer.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's interesting.
Anyway, the actual riddle for our viewers and listeners this morning. Go right ahead, GT.
What gets wet while drying? That's the riddle for this morning. What gets wet while drying? All right, so that's a riddle for this morning. Don't forget, folks, you can chime in on it. Send us a WhatsApp. Voice note preferably with the answer. What gets wet while drying? Should be a pretty easy one this morning for you folks to chime in on. Send us that once again. If you have the youngsters participating, send us a photo of that youngster, and we certainly parade them via the TV. So the riddle once again: what gets wet while drying? Give us the answer for that. We show the answer out when we come back during the second segment of the show. We're moving up, folks. It's moving up to 15 minutes exactly before the 7 o'clock hour. Time to come to you compliments of Grace Food. And the M edition of news is next. And also news via GBN TV and news here on K105 and the Hot 98. Let's get set for the news once again here on K105.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
2 weeks after most of the country's COVID-19 restrictions were lifted, local health authorities are reporting a gradual increase in new cases being recorded as Grenadians and the rest of the world begin to participate in more social activities. Rena Pierre-Thomas has tonight's top story.
Grenada recorded 38 new COVID-19 cases on Tuesday, bringing the number of active cases to 218. 5 individuals are presently hospitalized with the virus, while the death toll since March 2020 remains at 219. According to officials from the Ministry of Health, while the numbers are not growing rapidly compared to prior months, it is rising gradually. The country has recorded 14,287 confirmed cases and 13,850 recoveries since the initial outbreak of the COVID-19 virus 2 years ago. The Ministry of Health has gathered data from the first 19 days of the past 3 months to get an understanding of how the country has been doing with COVID-19. Chief Medical Officer Sean Charles explains.
The average daily reported new confirmed cases in February was 54.1. In March, it went down to 7.6, and in April, it went back. It increased somewhat to 14.3 cases daily. So this is just for the first 19 days of these 3 months. In April, we have noticed that the trend is towards a gradual increase in the proportion of positive cases.
Dr. Charles reminds Grenadians to continue to wear their mask and other personal protective protocols, despite the removal of mandated regulations by the government. He tells the public that this is not a time to be laid back and relaxed, as the virus is very much alive.
We want the Grenadian public in particular to be aware that cases locally will increase as a result of low adherence to the public health preventive measures and the increase in the number of social interactions that are presently occurring. Now, the mandate was removed, meaning that by law, you do not need to do it, or you do not have to do it, or you will not be penalized for not doing it. It does not mean that you have to abandon it, because it is important that you practice these prevention measures to protect your own self.
So far, Grenada has administered 87,656 doses of vaccine, with 33% of the total population fully vaccinated and 4.6% partially vaccinated. And while there is still a high level of vaccine hesitancy on the island, Dr. Charles said that they have only recently accepted a donation of the Sinopharm vaccines from the Republic of China as another option for Grenadians.
Yesterday, we took delivery of, I believe, 20,000 doses of Sinopharm vaccines. Sinopharm vaccine is a vaccine that is produced in China, and it was as a donation from the People's Republic of China.
The Grenadian population is encouraged to get vaccinated. For GBN News, I am Rena Pierre-Thomas reporting.
Based on the challenges and limitations to the available acreage of property in Grenada, land use policy has finally reached the stage that comes before being transformed into legislation. Gerard Joseph has the details.
As the government of Grenada moves to bring forward a bill which will give legislative powers to a land use policy for Grenada, the question of what possible measures to prosecute individuals and entities who have misused or damaged lands and mangroves was put forward to the Minister. Minister for Agriculture Peter David had this response when pressed by the media.
And I'm sure there are penalties with respect to physical planning. The physical planning law does provide for penalties for persons who who violate physical planning laws. So yes, there are consequences for persons who violate, and we hope to add more consequences as we go forward to try to manage properly and manage better our land. But there are consequences now, and there will be consequences in the future.
According to the minister, there are only 78 to 80,000 acres of land available in Grenada to be used for agriculture, housing, recreation, forestry, and commercial activities. Noting the huge demand for land and its limitations, Minister David, who is also responsible for lands, forestry, and labor, says the land use policy is finally nearing completion.
That has been something that has been called for years, a land use policy, because much of our agricultural land was transferred to housing. And while we understand the need for housing, we must also understand there's a need to feed our population. There's a need to reduce our food import bill. And the only way to do that is to properly plan the use of our land, to ensure that there's enough land to grow food for our people and enough land to ensure that housing is available for our people, that commercial activities take place, that manufacturing take place.
Chief Agricultural Officer Trevor Thompson, who was a focal person in drafting the policy, says legislation is being prepared to support the mandates under the land use policy.
Once it's going to have an impact on other people, then you'll have to institute certain management regimes that will either determine if that land could be used for that purpose or not. And then the whole issue of land that will be allocated for special purposes, protected areas, recreation areas, for forest reserve, to preserve drinking water, etc. All of those has to be taken into consideration. And of course, the overarching issue of land for present and future generations.
Thompson adds that a legal expert has been contracted to assist with the legislation that will accompany the policy, noting the challenges faced by lawyers surrounding land issues and disputes. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The new school term started with all students back in the classroom in January after a lengthy staggered approach to teaching and learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now it's preparation time for examinations, some of which have already started.
It is that time of the year when students in exit grades prepare for their examinations. Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Angela Finley, on Wednesday reminded parents and students of the exam dates to keep in mind.
Both the CSEC and the CAPE examinations are set to commence on the 2nd May. That's the theoretical exams. For some of the practical subjects, the assessments have already begun, such as the physical education practicals, and that's on stream, that's going on this week. And other assessments for the practical subjects like food and nutrition and health, home management, they have already started. But the theoretical work assessments begin on the 2nd of May. For CSEC, it's due to end on the 3rd of June, and for CAPE, the 10th of June.
The dates for the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC assessments for Form 3 students and Minimum Competency Test, the MCT, for primary level students were also provided.
Then we have the CCSLC exams. That's the minimum competency assessment, which is a regional assessment for students at the Form 3 level. That begins on the 6th of June, Monday 6th June, and should end on Thursday the 9th of June. And then on Wednesday the 8th of June, we will have our MCTs for the primary school, that's grades 2, 4, and 5.
Mrs. Finley explained the importance of students attending the CCLSC and the MCT assessments. She said these exams will give the ministry an indication of the extent of learning taking into account recent disruptions. Parents and guardians are being urged to encourage their children in preparation for these assessments. Cherry and Blackman, Stephen, GBN News.
Consultations on the decriminalization of cannabis are nearing completion, with reviews to go before Cabinet within the coming days. That's according to Minister of Agriculture, Peter David, who provided the latest update on Wednesday. We get the details in this Gerard Joseph report.
The final round of consultations on the decriminalization of cannabis is due on Friday, following the pending responses to be presented to Cabinet, then Parliament for second reading. Minister of Agriculture Peter David says despite the 90-day period for consultation with the public and other stakeholders having elapsed since the Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Amendment Bill had its first reading, the process is not yet over.
Some people have heard the public response. I think one gentleman said in his response the other day he doesn't want 10 trees, he wants 100 trees. Well, some people say there are different responses to the legislation. I must say, though, that we've not received any very negative responses on it, which points in a particular direction. So I'm going to go back to Cabinet next week, indicate to Cabinet what the results are of this consultation that we've had.
Minister David says invitations to various stakeholders were sent out to engage in consultations or responses on the decriminalization of marijuana.
And we did have a roundtable some time ago with some other stakeholders. So we have a pretty good picture now as to where our society is on this. So I think the next step is for Parliament to just have the second reading where we will deal with the matter there, finalize it there, and then it moves to the Senate. And then all of the stakeholders in it, the police, everybody put their mechanisms in place in order to move in the direction that I suspect the consultation is heading.
He adds that together with the Minister of Health and the Attorney General, the Ministry of Agriculture will compile the data received after the final consultation on Friday.
And I just want to say to the public, we are still open to recommendations from you. Those who did not respond, I'm assuming as I sit here, that is because you have no difficulty. If you do have a difficulty, please, the Ministry of Agriculture is open. Please let us know what your difficulty is, so if we at least we take it into account when we report to Cabinet next week.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
With Grenada's next general election due next year, most eyes and ears of nationals near and far are tuning into the major elections players to hear their plans for the development of the country. With that in mind, the Grenada Broadcasting Network is into its third week of one of its latest programs called Election Watch. The program provides a platform for members of the public to hear and understand the issues that affect the country and its people. Host of the program is Joseph Kador.
Well, join us this evening, Grenada, for another episode of Election Watch. Joining us this evening, out of the diaspora, is a son of the soil, and he's put himself up for candidacy representing the northeast constituency of St. Andrew, the man Dennis St. George. He certainly has plans, which he says, to take Grenada into the 21st century. And certainly we'll be hearing from him. What are his plans? What are his takes as to how we move Grenada forward? Also part of the conversation this evening is a former chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Vincent Roberts, and certainly the National Democratic Congress is making an appeal to the general populace, and he's going to be forwarding their cause as we deal with the bread and butter issues, the issues that has come to affect our lives, my life, your life. That conversation comes up this evening on Election Watch at 8:30. Join me.
Election Watch will be broadcast every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on GBN TV as well as social media platforms. You are about to hear the story of a young man who found his first love in the field of performing arts and is the first Grenadian to be accepted into the Columbia College of Chicago. As he prepares for his journey, he's seeking the public's help as he faces financial challenges in pursuing his dreams. More in this Rena Pierre Thomas report.
28-year-old Alistair Amada, a graduate of the T.A. Marisho Community College, is seeking the public's help to pursue his dream of obtaining his bachelor's degree in the performing and creative arts. For the last 6 years, Amada has fully dedicated his life to the performing and creative arts, which he said has transformed his life. His journey began at Grenada's Acting and Film School, where he found his purpose and vision for his life in wanting more out of the the arts, he left acting school to pursue his studies at the T.A. Marisho Community College, where he studied both literature and psychology. Now, Alistair is the first Grenadian to be accepted into the Columbia College Chicago University. He said he has already obtained a quarter of a scholarship that covers tuition for the institution and has started the process with the government, hoping to secure housing and tuition funding. However, Alistair still needs money to embark on his new journey.
I am asking for assistance in the area of funding for tuition and housing to go to Columbia College, Chicago. I have currently started the process with the government. However, the response we negotiating at the time, but the response is not definitive. But I'm currently pleading with the government for they to cover at least half or the rest of the balance for tuition and a portion for housing, and for the private sector to assist with the process as well.
Amadi's fire for the performing arts has led him into national and international arenas, such as his participation in TAMCC's Best Talent Competition, Ministry of Youth Tall Speech Festival, and in 2020 founded Team Lyrical, and has written more than 100 poems. He aims to change the way theatre is seen in Grenada by furthering his studies to transform the sector when he returns home. He said he is willing to share his plans with anyone willing to listen.
Some of the screenplays and ideas I have, it can literally revolutionize and transform the arts within Grenada. So it's not just Alistair's dream to go and study theatre at Columbia College. Long term is not for me alone, but at the end of the day, it's coming back to build and transform Grenada. Hence, I have my own theatre company.
Alistair needs to leave for his studies in late July to start his classes. Anyone willing to contribute to his endeavors can contact him on his telephone number 414-7032. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
From this Saturday, PAHO, together with Grenada and other countries and territories of the region of the Americas, will celebrate the 20th Annual Vaccination Week and the 11th World Immunization Week. Rena Pierre-Thomas shares local activities planned for the week celebration.
World Vaccination Week in the Americas is celebrated in the last week of April and aims to highlight the collective action needed and to promote the use of vaccines to protect people of all ages against diseases. This year's campaign comes at an especially critical time as the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted essential health services, including routine immunization, setting back progress by more than a decade. World Vaccination or Immunization Week will be celebrated from April 23rd to the 30th in Grenada under the theme, Are You Vaccinated? Get All Your Shots. Audrey Lyons, manager of the expanded program on immunization in the Ministry of Health, outlined some activities planned for the event this year.
In Grenada, we have seen a decline in the number of children being vaccinated against childhood diseases, and more so after the pandemic. Of course, many countries around the world has expressed similar sentiments. In Grenada, we have a very robust community nursing department where childhood clinic is conducted at least once per week in all of the health facilities around the island. And of course, in some of our private physicians' clinic.
Several community activities are also planned to educate the nation on vaccination. She also spoke of the importance of vaccination not just for COVID-19, but against other diseases.
So on Saturday 23rd, we'll have the opening speech.
Yeah, there's a track coming on there from the Black Stallion, captured live, the Caribbean Man. Hey, time check. We're looking at 7 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to those of you who are viewing via GBN TV. Good morning, whether Channel 11, Channel 7, or Channel 20. Good morning. And our social media, of course, viewers and listeners are very good morning to you also. If you're via Facebook, don't forget to share the live. Share the live. Hey, welcome back, Gary. How you doing, man? We're back live here. It's Good Morning Grenada. We live back.
Good morning.
Yeah, we back live this morning.
100%.
Yes. You know, I was kind of cracked up when you throw that little see what I'm thinking this morning, or than me this morning. Yeah. Just really thinking about it, I say, oh, that's what he was actually talking about. I hate dry. Well, you just
that went over your head there for a little bit.
Seriously,
glad that you caught it.
Yeah, it caught me there a little bit. I just say that's what he was talking about. Anyway, man. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny. You caught. That's what you call being caught off guard there for a bit.
Yeah, you were caught definitely off guard.
I was caught off guard there for a bit. Hey, let's move on this morning, folks. Let me say thank you to all the folks who chimed in via the riddle this morning and gave the answers for the riddle. We have I'm seeing lots of individuals throwing out the answers this morning. Let's just take a listen up to some of the answers that was given this morning and see who's correct. We don't say who they're correct yet until we just play all that we possibly can. Let's listen up to this one.
Good morning. The answer is a bath towel.
All right, so that's one individual there. I'm assuming adult, throwing that one out there. Let's see if this youngster is this one. Well, this one seems to be, it's a voice note sent, but I wasn't hearing anything. Check your phone. Check your phone. He sent me a voice note, but actually wasn't hearing anything. Let me see this one. Where is it? Let me check this one out again. There's another youngster participating this morning. Let's see this one.
Good morning. My name is Casey, and the answer is bath towel.
All right, so let's try another youngster once again who participated. And, yep, let me try this one. A couple of them seems to have just eluded me there for a minute. Not sure where they went to, but thus far, there were two youngsters, Gary. For some reason, the other, somehow I'm losing the clip there for a bit. Probably too much been sent there for a rebet. So it answered there, Gary. So we had a couple of folks. A lot of written messages came in. Everyone giving the answer about forward. Are they correct or not?
Well, I don't know why everyone is being so specific by saying bath towel. But how about just a towel?
Just a towel.
Because
not all towel are used for
a kitchen towel, hand towel, does pretty much the same thing. It gets wet in order to dry.
So true. There's this last voice note that came in a while. Let me see what this person, if they're giving a different answer.
Hi, my name is Jared, and the answer is towel.
No, that's what we're looking for.
There you go, Jaro.
That's what we're looking for. Let me see if I can parade this youngster via TV this morning. So, Master Control, I'm sending you now a particular picture of a youngster who have just sent an answer. And I think that's the answer we were looking for, specifically.
That's specifically the answer. I mean, everybody's correct, but, but Jared is more correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's correcter.
Well, I think they've probably been listening to us, so they probably get it. But it came in the process while we were saying it. So they are correct. He's correct. He's correct. So congratulations.
Oh, by the way, I don't think corrector is actually a word, kids. So don't be.
Yeah, Gary, even his word. I was told I make up a lot of words. I make up a lot of words, but I think you started to beat me on that way.
Correct.
I hear you coming up with some words lately. I mean, with your own little dictionary. I don't know. You understand? Anyway.
Towel is correct.
Anyway. Hey, Gary, get ready for June 4th, 2022. Yes, 2022.
We
King
will
of
be
the Grill.
at the Monrouge playing field. Come rain, come shine.
Yeah.
We prefer to shine, but come rain, come shine. That's where you're going to find us. It's King of the Grill, baby.
Don't forget, you have up until the end of this particular month to get registered for the karaoke competition, where you can win $500 in cash. Yeah. That
juicy barbecue. dripping down the sides of your mouth.
All right. You know, well, if we
and you're going from grill to grill and you're sampling it.
Yeah.
And you know, I like that one over there. Give me another one.
Yeah. And you know, in the karaoke part of it, well, we
got a picture of Jared up there.
He just came across the screen a while ago. So, congratulations, Jared. Gary gonna take care of you. All right. Anyway, hey,
no prizes this time around, family. So we are appealing to all the corporate partners out there. Yeah, come on board. Give the kids a little something for winning the rhythm, man.
Yeah.
Big up to the computer store. You know, they came on board for 1 week. Kids are still enjoying their Skull Candy headset. You know what I'm saying?
All right. And Gary, I was saying, when we get to the King of the Grill, well, we get the option of getting some of those karaoke songs together. You know, see how people could really mesh with them. Have some ideas of some
I would
songs.
Actually be singing.
You'll be singing
on that day.
All right.
Since I would not be eating the barbecue per se, I'll be singing though. So you guys can look forward to that.
All right, I will be coming down there specifically for that. Yeah, I'll be making videos too, so you know, evidence per se.
Don't worry now, I could hold a key. I can definitely hold a key.
Well,
I may not be sounding good, but I can hold a key.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
We're moving on this morning, man.
Yeah. Get ready, folks. In terms of cruise ship visitor, the island on my list, I'm not seeing any cruise ships on my list this morning, so I'm not sure if there's anyone who, from their vantage point, are able to view the port. And if you see a cruise ship coming in, or if in the horizon you can notice one coming, or if one is already in port. But none on my list, not until Saturday of this week. We're going to have another cruise ship, which will be the 23rd of April. The season is winding down, Gary. The final one for this month will be on the 26th, which will give us just about 12 calls for this particular month. It may have been about 14, because I think there was a day that I mentioned there were no cruise ship in, and cruise ships per se in, and there were. So probably couldn't add up to 12. Come the first day of May, that's when we're going to have the final cruise ship for the year. And for this season, per se, the final cruise ship will be on May the 1st. Now listen to this, guy. They will give a total, come the 1st of May, that will give us a total of 200 and, it could be have increased a little bit, because there were days I said that we had cruise ship when I said we didn't have any on my list, but there were cruise ship that came in. So the total may have increased a wee bit, but what I'm seeing on the list here from the official, it said 202 calls we have had for the year. All right, 202 calls, giving us a total for the year of over 391,715 in terms of total folks visiting the island via cruise ship, and that number could of course go up a wee bit when we get the final tally. All right, so thanks once again for all the visitors to the island, and continue to visit when the new season pops in sometime around October, November, sometime around October, the middle around October this year. That's when the season kicks in, I think. Yeah, I think it's October. Something wrong October.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, something wrong October. This year when the new season pops in once again. All right. So we're moving on. It's Good Morning Grenada.
Grenada.
We due for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we got a video for you by Sabrina Francis. So let's take that break, and when we come back, that video, that will certainly be followed by more information here for you. Stay with us. It's Good Morning Grenada.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Have you heard
excited about the new Softweave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Softweave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Softweave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
So we're back live. It's Good Morning Grenada. We're looking at just around 17 minutes after the hour this morning. And I did promise you, of course, a bit of music in the background. We got a music video coming up, and this time is, I did mention the one from, of course, Sabrina. But no, we're not going to play the Sabrina this morning. I think we actually touched that yesterday. So we'd actually play a song by Brighter Star, The Comforter. When we come back, we have for you V. Of course, the Celebrations Club. Those of you celebrating, I'm going to shout you out when we come back after the video. Stay with us. It's time for a little bit of music in the background.
Them find pleasure in a doing evil. The wicked flee when no one pursue. Like coals in the burning fire, I've learned patience is a virtue. The wicked flee when no one pursue. No, them get with them one, them turn them back on you. Alright, them got malice in them thoughts. What the I say? Mischief in them earth. Alright, protect I from the pestilence. Guide the youth them from the predators. Them never like it from the start. The power wheeling from the earth. Praise him in his excellence. Rastafari is the comforter. Take me humbleness with cowardness and left with powerless. Enough of them you give strength. Them a pre your wickedness. Like an eagle so the fool wander off from its nest. If in your family them no different from the rest. So them rank them have a plot. Figure feed up on your flesh about them. No man no perfect, let's be honest. Fools with a stiff neck. Reggae music run the planet. Heard the voice I got it. Though I give to you them honors. Load the reggae matic blow. Them got malice in them thoughts. What the I say? Mischief in them earth. Alright. Protect I from the pestilence. Guide the youth them from the predators. Them never like it from the start. Like the power wheeling from the earth. Praise him in his excellence. Rastafari is the comforter. Back from exile, let the stars them shine. When the moon turn blood with burning skies. If this world have end, I must stay for a while. Show some love, don't let the rhythm die. I've seen family hurting family. True story, you know. I've seen friend kill friend over jealousy. They said in him heart that it ain't no God. And
Certainly a lovely track there from the artist. Shout out to you, man. Big up yourself always. Brighter Star, talented artist indeed. Could never get over, the let's say, but he made once when an interview with him, and he said, "Hey, we set up an outer view." Inside an interview, man. Hey.
Saying there are like 3 songs on that rhythm. Jonathan Francis.
Yeah.
Produced by Eugene Gittins.
Yeah.
As I like to call him, Gits.
Gits. All right.
Actually, that rhythm was featured on BBC One Extra, I think.
Yeah.
And love it.
Yeah,
First time I heard it, I actually thought it was a rhythm that they, stole. Not using the word stole in a negative way, but thought it was a Jamaican rhythm. I mean, that gives credit to the rhythm right there.
Yeah, man. Hey, big up to Eugene all the ways, man. And he Always coming with good music. And he sent me some soca, which we haven't touched yet. We'll get into that one.
He hasn't given me the green light to play it as yet. He told me hold up on that. So.
All right. I mean, I have a listen to it, and song's good. You understand?
Definitely.
Sounds good. Shout out to Eugene once again. Hey, did you watch his program last night? Great show, also.
I didn't get to look at it, but I will check out the rerun.
Great show, man. Interesting Grenadians, and if you haven't viewed it yet, listeners, viewers out there, you should go on and go to the GBN YouTube pages and certainly take a view of it, man. You will certainly enjoy what you see and hear the individuals are talking about. It's time for the Celebrations Club this morning. Let's take a listen up to and shout out to all the folks who are celebrating today, and we come back more information for you. Let's see who's celebrating today. Hey, let me take time and say good morning and happy birthday going out to Miss Lucy Hazard. How you doing this morning? Happy birthday to you. Greetings going out to you from Miss Annie out there in River Road. You want to wish you a happy birthday today. Who else is on my list this morning? Saying good morning and happy birthday going out to Anton Christopher of Lower Capital. Anton is celebrating his birthday today. As a matter of fact, he's 11 years old. His grandfather, that's Lunsford, is shouting him out this morning. His mom, that's Sherilyn. His father, Dennis. All the members of the family extending the greetings to him this morning, wishing him a great day today on his birthday. Jahim Charles of Birch Grove is also celebrating today. Jahim, good morning, happy birthday. Goodness going on to him from his mom, Wendy Ann, wishing him a happy birthday. Let's say good morning to Donnelly Nelson of La Digue. How you doing this morning? Happy birthday. What about that's Karan Charles of Hope? Good morning and happy birthday. Princess Akifa Alexander of Cloget. Good morning and happy birthday from Mommy Clary. Good morning to Mommy Clary. How you doing? Long time. All the best on your birthday today. That's Akita Alexander. Let's say good morning to Jean Peters of Shal. That's in the Providence area of Birch Grove. Good morning and happy birthday. Let's say good morning to Presley McSween of Birch Grove. Good morning and happy birthday. Going out to her this morning. Should it be from him, from his wife? All right. I hope I get that right. And all the other member of the family, wishing him a happy birthday. That's Presley McSween. Going out to him from his wife. All right. I think that's the proper way of saying it. I think there's probably a little typo there. Let's say good morning to Rhonda Rodney of Telescope. Rhonda, good morning. Ruth Atchable of Paraclete. How are you? Happy birthday. Say good morning also to Kareem Alexander. Mr. Jones. How you doing this morning, sir? Happy birthday. Going out to you from members of the family. Let's say good morning to Georgie Olive Antoine of Gleb Street in St. Soteres. Good morning. What about Sherman Simon, who's in the U.S. of A? Good morning to you. Happy birthday from his mom and all the other members of the family. Let's say good morning to Sharona Williams of Grosse Pointe. How you doing this morning? And she's actually, greetings going out to her, I should say, from her mom who's in Totola. Shouting out the greetings to her this morning, wishing her a great day today. Let's say good morning to Leisha Beggs of Bylands. Good morning, happy birthday. Erica Murray of Grenville. Good morning, happy birthday to you. Let's say good morning to Rolda Coutain of Woodlands. Happy birthday to you also. What about Tonya Lewis of New Garden? That's in Victoria. Good morning and happy birthday. Rivaldo John of Waltham and St. Mark. Good morning. Rivaldo is actually 16 years old today. Student of the Samaritan Presbyterian. Good morning from his mom, Michelle, and all the other members of the family. Saying good morning to Jovan Joseph. That's Jovan Joseph of Grandad's House and Scheme. Good morning and happy birthday to you from members of the family. Andy Sharp of Springs. Good morning. Good morning to you. Happy birthday. Adele Jeremiah of La Fortune, St. Patrick. Good morning. 6 years old today. Good morning to you and happy birthday. Tom, the oil young man in Guelph. That's the name that's all I was given in terms of information to share for him. Tom, the oil young man in Guelph. Good morning to you, sir. All the best on your birthday today. Joycelyn Pascal of Mal Mountain St. David's. Good morning. Your husband Charles is wishing you a happy birthday. Byron Hafford, aka Police of Mount Hadman. Good morning to you and happy birthday. Saying good morning to Sharina Langai of Kurut. How you doing this morning? Happy birthday. 6 years old today. Good morning and happy birthday to you. Sally Alexander of Waltham and St. Mike. Good morning and happy birthday to you also. Sean Scott of Diamond Street, Victoria. Sean is 16 years old today, man. Good morning and happy birthday from your mom, Diane. Let's say good morning to Jasper Brathwaite of Richmond Hill in St. George. Good morning and happy birthday to you, Jasper. Sharon Ragmaj of Marigut. Goodness going on to this morning from Chanel, wishing you a happy birthday. Let's say good morning to Gilbert Jones. Yes, how are you doing this morning? I'm fun to know. Good morning and happy birthday to you. And finally, I have a couple on my list this morning, and this couple is celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary. That's George and Jocelyn Lessie of La Digue, celebrating their anniversary today. 33 years of marital bliss. Suddenly want to wish you a happy anniversary. And I think I got a little bit of information to go to church here before we actually move back into the full force of Good Morning Grenada. This shout out is going out to all the retired nurses in Grenada. Yeah, and they certainly did lay a very good foundation. We're talking about Sister De Silva, Mark Williams, we have Charles, we have the Winsboro, the Julian, the Philip, the Noel, the Bess, the Humphrey, all the other nurses, McIntyre, Cumberbatch, and many others. Blessed day going out to you. Just showing you some love this morning. All right, wishing you folks a great day. So that's it for the Celebrations Club, and just showing that shout out there to all the retired nurses also. Suddenly, you have paved the way. Hey, that's it for Celebrations Club. We're back live inside of Good Morning Grenada. Here, Gary, lots of chart inside the segment. We have gotten the birthday list out, moving down to 27 minutes after the hour. We got loads to throw out in terms of info, and that little chit-chat that we get into from time to time in the morning, discussing what's in the buzz, per se, in terms of information that the folks out there who are viewing and listening should grab their interest just a wee bit. What we buzzing into this morning?
Yeah, man. We always endeavor to discuss the pertinent issues. Just as a side note, last day or two during the holidays, it was announced by the New York Post that travelers were celebrating across the country on Monday as airports and airlines dropped their mask mandate. All right, dropped their mask requirements after a Florida federal judge voided the Biden administration's mask mandate for planes, trains, and buses. All right. So celebrations, a win for, of course, the airlines, a loss for the Biden administration as far as that is concerned.
But listening to a little bit of news this morning, I understand they're going to be appealing it. You understand? They're going to be appealing that decision. They finally decided to appeal the decision, so we still are waiting what the appeal, the outcome of that will be. You understand? So we await that. In a matter of weeks, we shall probably know if that that's going to be overturned again. It's going to be a typical back and forth in that, in my opinion. You understand? Because COVID has not left as yet. It didn't shut the door on the world as yet. It's still there. So let's see.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard also.
It's a contentious issue. I went into an establishment sometime during the course of the week last week, and I was reminded that I needed to keep my mask on.
All right.
A gentleman came in right after me, and he made an issue of it. Right. He was like, "Well, Kid Mitchell say there is no mask mandate." Post security officer had to remind him, Kid Mitchell also did say that businesses can choose whether or not they would like to enforce mask mandate or even a vaccination mandate.
And I will on a personal note say personal encouragement also to encourage folks to still wear your mask. I still do. Go into institutions and places that I would go at, I still wear my mask because we hearing about COVID is still, the new variant. Barbados is now have a bit of a concern with it, that new variant. And other parts of the world, it's still out there. So we don't have that mandate that said you have to. But if you want to protect yourself, I would encourage that you still wear your mask. All right? Maintain your social distance also. Don't jam up people and them kind of thing. You know what I mean? Continue to wear. You heard China has now eased up at least, 20 million people in one particular province. 20 million.
Then in Shanghai.
Yeah, they said, hey, free up a little bit. But
after they lock the people people hungry, they can't eat. Food running out.
They have just given them a little bit of a free up.
Living in a communist society is a kind of thing.
Boy.
Can you imagine take you right now, GT, and just plant you in a communist society? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't survive.
You're going to take a bit of getting used to, right?
I wouldn't survive. I wouldn't survive. I love I love the freedom that we of course have here in this Baisal. You know, I think sometimes we play around with it a whole lot. Folks in other parts of the world wish they have the level of freedom, you know, that we do enjoy. You understand?
Some communist places like North Korea, you can't have more than 2 cars. You can't have more than 1.
You know, but there's also a designated way that men are supposed to cut their hair. You understand? Nobody can there's a particular way that your hair is supposed to be kept, and you can't do that. You can't wear jeans, especially the females and stuff. I don't think nobody could wear because they don't want to be part of the Western cultures and so forth. You're not supposed to wear jeans and all these things, man. So imagine if it come down to that for us living here in Grenada or any part of the Caribbean. I don't know. I don't know if we could even hold on to them kind of.
Well, I think communism and democracy, there is some overriding semblance of, even in a democratic society, you know, oftentimes government kind of exhibit communist kind of mentality.
You say that?
Oh, yeah. Some sudden iron fist decisions sometimes need to be made, you know, for the better of the country. I haven't said that, and I'm not in any way suggesting that's a communist kind of move. Grenada is now moving into an area called the Land Bank Project.
Yeah.
And the question is this the perfect move for agriculture in Grenada? Now, during a press conference yesterday, the Minister of Agriculture explained the Land Bank Project. I'm excited about that project. I would love to see this benefit farmers and Grenada in the long run. So, yeah, I'm excited about that, GT.
I've heard about it. Has not put a lot of thought into it. You know, you are one of the individuals over here who get into a lot of the farming and think about that a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, my direction is a little bit different than yours. You know, I deal with things on a more of a technical nature, more on the farming side of things. So you into the land and stuff, which I will have. I mean, we'd be glad if we could have a bit of a food sustainability on island. You understand, where we can grow our own and have it available. When, you know, times comes around, we see what's going on in other parts of the world where food shortage and things is coming about. And if that particular idea gets into full infusion, you know what happens there. It could benefit the island as a whole, I would say.
Definitely. Well, let's check out that clip. We would definitely love to see this get off the ground. The minister talking about the Land Bank Project. Let's go to Master Control.
All right.
For you this morning is aimed at, first of all, getting persons to apply for government lands. So we've started with 2 sites, the Diamond Estate in St. Mark and the Grand Bacalet Estate in St. Andrew in the eastern side of the country. And on both areas, we have divided up the plots into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10-acre plots, and persons would apply for it. But before we allow them, before we grant them a license or a lease, they will be trained in business. And that has all been done. And Trevor will go into some of the details so that when they get into the farming, it is done as a business. So we are going to launch that project within the next week or 2 in early May, where we are going to award persons on the Grand Bacalet project acres of land, leases the land, so that they conduct a business. They will conduct the business, and we at the Ministry of Agriculture will give all of the support that we can give to them in terms of the agronomy, what they plant, how they plant, support in terms of ensuring that the irrigation is properly done. We are going to ensure that and work with them for their success. But in addition to bringing other persons from outside, from outside of the Grand Bacalet estate to do the farming on the estate, there are persons on the estate who have lived in Grand Bacalet for years that we will include in the Land Bank project and give them what necessary support, what support they need in order to ensure their success in the agricultural project.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's an interesting concept. We'd love to see that, goes through and comes to fruition. So, yeah, kudos to the government on that. Yep. And meanwhile, there is a need to manage the limited availability of lands in Grenada for food and housing. Now, that's a concern. All right. So, as much as we want housing, we want farming, and a lot of people buying land for commercial use and so forth. The government is caught between a rock and a hard place right about now. And let's go to this other clip. And all of that was highlighted during yesterday's press conference. It speaks about the scarce availability, the limited availability of lands in Grenada, and how the government intends on, protecting, of course, the land, so that, of course, housing and food can be looked after.
All right, let's take a listen up to that particular
Grenada moves to bring forward a bill which will give legislative powers to a land use policy for Grenada. The question of what possible measures to prosecute individuals and entities who have misused or damaged lands and mangroves was put forward to the Minister. Minister for Agriculture Peter David had this response when pressed by the media.
And I'm sure there are penalties with respect to physical planning. The physical planning law does provide for penalties for persons who violate physical planning law. So yes, there are consequences for persons who violate, and we hope to add more consequences as we go forward to try to manage properly and manage better our land. But there are consequences now, and there will be consequences in the future.
According to the minister, there are only 78 to 80,000 acres of land available in Grenada to be used for agriculture, housing, recreation, forestry, and commercial activities. Noting the huge demand for land and its limitations, Minister David, who is also responsible for lands, forestry, and labor, says the land use policy is finally nearing completion.
That has been something that has been called for years, a land use policy, because much of our agricultural land was transferred to housing. And while we understand the need for housing, we must also understand there's a need to feed our population. There's a need to reduce our food import bill. And the only way to do that is to properly plan the use of our land, to ensure that there's enough land to grow food for our people and enough land to ensure that housing is available for our people, that commercial activities take place, that manufacturing take place.
Chief Agricultural Officer Trevor Thompson, who was a focal person in drafting the policy, says legislation is being prepared to support the mandates under the land use policy.
Once it's going to have an impact on other people, then you'll have to institute certain management regimes that will either determine if that land could be used for that purpose or not. And then the whole issue of land that will be allocated for special purposes, protected areas, recreation areas, for forest reserve, to preserve drinking water, etc. All of those has to be taken into consideration. And of course the overarching issue of land for present and future generations.
Thompson adds that a legal expert has been contracted to assist with the legislation that will accompany the policy, noting the challenges faced by lawyers surrounding land issues and disputes. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Certainly we'll be back inside. Interesting there, Gary. Interesting. Certainly hope we could see that come into fruition pretty soon, where that policy where lands for particular purposes are used for that particular purpose. You understand?
Yeah, well, there you go, where government, again, have to take certain hard line approach when it comes to managing the country's resources. And this is a very ticklish one. We are limited. Land availability is limited. For the untrained eyes, you look around, all you're seeing is trees and hills and mountains, and you're thinking, well, let
me clear that up and use it for commercial purposes, and sometimes sometimes governments do get that offer that they can't refuse to. You understand? Sometimes you get those offers and you can't refuse. Individuals who may have their own personal property and get an offer that you can't refuse. Hey, you're getting a couple of dollars for that particular property that you may be using for previously for farming and so forth, and someone decides, hey, I want to put in a commercial building and make you an offer. Sometimes you just can't refuse. You can't refuse. So
all of a sudden, limited land is not much of a concern anymore. 435-2041. Don't forget that's the number here, family. You can always chime in at any time during the morning period. We are here till it's 8 o'clock, so feel free to lend your voice to any of the topics discussed are discussing here this morning.
All right. Anyway, moving on. It's K105. Got a bit of information that I got to throw out this morning. Let me see. Where's that bit of information? I had a bit of information I had to throw out this morning. Let me see if I could just turn around and then pull it towards me.
Before you get that, someone says, good morning, GBN. Just want to send out birthday greetings to my nephew, Dondre Sandy, whose birthday was yesterday, and my cousin, Charlene Christopher's birthday is today. Happy birthday, guys.
All right. Before we move on, and just want to remind you that the Guardian General Insurance OECS Limited wishes to advise its valued customers and the general public that the following adjustments to its business hours, and that will be on Tuesday, the 26th of April, folks, 2022. The Guardian will be closed from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. All right. And the Guardian General remains committed to serving you and apologize for inconvenience this temporary closure may cause. Gary, let's take a short break. We coming back?
Are you ready for a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
I had something right at the tip of my tongue there.
Hey, shut it up. Let's take a break and we come back. We should chat about it. Then we close off in the last couple of minutes. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Very nice.
So we're back live via GBN TV. Yes, should be making a link via Hot 98 shortly. Good morning once again to our viewers via social media, whether it's Facebook or a YouTube channel. Good morning to you folks. Thanks for, of course, popping in with us this morning. Gary, we said we'll be back. We're back live.
Yeah, man.
Via GBN TV. Good morning to our social media viewers. Don't forget to share that live if you're listening and viewing via Facebook. Now, you said you had something on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, I was listening to the morning edition, the news, and a little bit sad of the news of an impending crackdown on certain behaviors by household, by Netflix.
Yeah.
What do them, boy?
You know, they said they have lost approximately 2 million subscribers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've lost. And I think the main issue is with where they have decided to where you know, before you give your password to a friend or family member, you know, who's in another house or somewhere else. People have been doing that. I think they want to.
Don't act like if you haven't done that before.
I have done that. I mean, I'll admit I haven't. I've been a subscriber with them for a couple of years.
Yeah,
now. A couple of years.
My son, who no longer lives with me, he has a crack at my account. You know,
yeah?
my sister across my soul. Hey,
I have certainly done it.
Yeah. What's your Netflix password? Hold on, let me give you.
Yeah, I know. People have been doing that. So they try to, but I think it's the competition part of it. For as they're saying it's the competition part of it that has stirred that whole thing up. Because you know there are a lot of course, companies who have just chimed into the same streaming business per se, and they give them some stiff competition. They're under some stiff competition. I mean, with
but that does not spell good news for us here. But
yeah, I mean with the crappy thing we get in here as what they provide for our region. You know, sometimes I wonder why I do pay for it. You don't understand? Yeah. Sometimes I say, why am I paying for this? And you know, sometimes there's nothing interesting for me to watch, and I say, I'm paying for this every month. And
but there is a economical reason. There is economics in that decision to share your password and thing, because if Netflix amounts to, let's say, $30, $25 for the month, if you share it with, let's say, 3 households, and everybody chipping a little, maybe a little $8 to, at the end of the month to pay for your subscription. Now, when Netflix decides to clamp down, and they are going to be doing that really fast, every man jack for themselves.
Gary, let me ask you this. Does anybody give you any money to help you pay for your Netflix? In all the people... Well...
My Netflix is shared between 3 households right now, and every month we chip in,
I'll be honest. But all the folks who I have given my password to, nobody gives me nothing. So
well, you're wrong.
Well, I've never chosen to ask for, help me pay for it. I never told it. I never thought of it in that way. Hey, well, if I give you my password, you have to help me pay for it. I never thought about that. I just give it. I just give it, and well, no, that you say that. If they're probably listening this morning, hey, from coming up at the end of this month, let's make the necessary arrangements.
Yeah, dark days ahead, family.
Let's make the arrangements where you may have to chip it or something, because Netflix is going to be shutting that outspace down. But that's been talked about for a while now, Gary. It's they're probably getting it in, but it's been
discussed for a while. I think they are feeling the pain.
Yeah,
it's hot in their pockets severely now.
Looking at the women cluster in their servers and so forth, and they're saying, well, all these people are viewing or using our service per se, but I don't think we're receiving. In terms of, you understand?
Yeah, it doesn't translate.
It doesn't add up. So I understand them from a business point of view. You understand? From a business point of view, I understand. But so let's see how that really pays out.
We have to ban Rebelli going forward, boy.
Yeah.
We had to ban Rebelli. Hey, June, yesterday's press conference, another ticklish issue that was touched upon was the issue of immunization. In fact, they went back as far as 1982, I think it was, when, of course, the then Revolutionary Party created the act, the Immunization Act.
Yeah.
And, of course, going forward, they are wanting to make sure that parents and family members, go according to that act. So let's check out this clip during yesterday's conference, where they spoke about all kids must be fully immunized to go to private school, public school, daycare, you just name it. For more details on that, let's check out this clip.
All right.
Age against communicable diseases. Notwithstanding any law to the contrary, but subject to the provisions of this act, no child shall be admitted as a pupil to a pre-primary school, primary school, private school, or all-age school unless he produces to the principal thereof a certificate of immunization with respect to every communicable disease, except, the 2 exceptions here, where a child produces a certificate of a medical practitioner or a community health nurse certifying that the immunization against any particular communicable disease or communicable diseases is not advisable on medical grounds. So 1, on medical grounds, but it must have a certificate. And 2, where a child has been exempted on religious grounds. Yeah? If a parent objects on religious grounds to the immunization of a child, that parent shall state the grounds of his objection in writing and give it or send it to the principal of the school in which he seeks the admission of the child, and the principal shall forward the objection to the minister responsible for education. The minister responsible for education shall consider the objection and decide whether or not the child shall be exempted from immunization, and the decision of the minister shall be final. The minister responsible for health may, from time to time, by order, amend the immunization schedule.
Okay, so get your sons, daughters, get them immunized. Gary, have your sons and daughters?
School will be reopened in
your kids immunized?
Soon from now. A couple of days.
Yeah.
So, a few days.
Yeah. Well.
So, there you go. I'm a little bit confused because they say must be immunized against every communicable disease out there. So.
But you know there are parents.
What you make of that, family?
You know there are parents who's gonna take issue with that. You understand? There are parents for religious reasons may not want to have their sons and daughters immunized for some reason or the other. There are folks who just have their personal take on immunization and may not want to get their sons immunized. Maybe it's just a family decision. You know, I don't want that. It's just
immunized in the sense that there are a lot of people in society today who feel strongly about certain things, certain disease, certain virus.
Yeah.
So with a fully immunized mandate, what does that tell you? You know, so we'll leave that for you to decipher.
Yeah.
I'll leave that there.
Yeah, I think that should be left there, and certainly hope if you would get it done. Yeah. If it's something that you wonder but you think is necessary for your son or daughter to be done, you get it done. All right. So we leave that there. We leave that right there.
Please.
It's Good Morning Grenada here on.
Thank you.
Hey, Good Morning Grenada once again. Yeah, live on K105 Hot 98 GBN TV, our social media, of course, platforms. Good morning to you folks who are chiming in there, and. Suddenly, if you want to chime in anytime, you know the number you can call us via 435-2041. It's G squared in the morning time. 435-2041.
Hey, West Indies captain Kieran Pollard has finally retired from international cricket. So let's wish him all the best. No more Pollard, boy.
Yeah. Hey, just 34. I think he's done with that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still a young man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
still a young man.
I wish him all the best.
In India right about now, in the league in India, playing right about now. So after that, I imagine, well, international cricket for that matter. I guess he'll still do his little county, stuff. But all the best.
Yeah.
Kieran Pollard. Is it Kieran or Kieran?
Yeah.
Kieran.
He actually represented for the last 15 years. For West Indies, so I wish him all the best.
He had a stellar career, man. Stellar career, indeed. So goodbye to Kieran Pollard, but
well, there's another loss there. Suddenly, hope someone will take up the position and continue.
West Indies been looking pretty good.
Pretty good. I was just going to say that they've been on a little bit of
not like if
an upward swing. There'll be a little upward swing for the last, couple of games played. They had a great victory here in Grenada last time they played. So we'll see.
I promised myself and my family that the next time West Indies comes to Grenada, we all go into the stadium, especially after West Indies won. We anticipate that they're going to win if they come here again and play because
West Indies won, you want to go. Only when there's a win, you want to go.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you want to call
that cricket fan right here. Fair weather cricket. That is me. Hey, speaking about sports, though, the question has always been asked for decades now. Can academics and track and field be combined without sacrificing one for the other? We've got a very inspiring story out of Jamaica from an athlete. His name is Javon Blake. And I want you to listen to this story here right now. And if that does not inspire you, especially those in school, then I don't know what else would.
Well, we did have a call online, Gary, to who wanted to chime in. Should we? Well, probably we'll take. I hope you want to take the caller, and then after we take a look at the clip. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning, sirs.
Good morning.
The issue of vaccine. It's amazing. We have evidence of what was done in Africa and other countries when they say that they was giving the vaccine for a particular thing, it was not so at all. In fact, it was dangerous, injecting people with, black men with. So people have reason for concern, all right? Apart from that, if there is a school where all the kids or most of the kids are vaccinated, and my child is not vaccinated, who is at risk? Isn't it my child? So I don't understand, because if everybody vaccinated and I'm not, then I'm at risk. Okay, I'm not at risk. I'm not putting anybody else at risk. So you see, sometimes people have biblical reason, spiritual reason why they don't want a child, and this biblical stuff and this social whatever governmental stuff, they conflict, sometimes.
All right.
So we have to be very careful as to how we go about this, Thank you, sir.
Indeed.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot, caller.
We just gonna be looking at it at a different side too, Gary. Because let's just to chime in here just for a minute. Let's suppose to be that there's a particular virus going around, and you're supposed to be, immunized against it, and you not being immunized, even though someone is got they get the immunization per se, or injected or whatever with it against it, but maybe you can cause a spread of it still. You understand? So there are different sides you can look at it to a point. You understand? So folks may have different views on.
Peter on Facebook is saying, in our younger age, we got vaccinated. So where is the problem now? That's according to what he's saying. All children should be immunized before going to school. Ingrid on the Facebook Live is commenting.
All right. So you wanted to take that clip, Gary, because we just have a few more minutes left on the show this morning.
This morning with this inspirational clip here.
All right, let's take a look at that and then come back and wrap the show up.
To the fastest ever Jamaican junior over 800 meters this year, a minute 47.62 seconds. No. Something else.
I have 19 CXC subjects, 13 C-Sec subjects, grade 1s, and 6 CAPE subjects, 5 grade 1s and 1 grade 2. I'm trying to get into molecular and cellular biology or astrophysics.
You got that? Yeah, it's a lot. So how does track and field fit in with his beautiful mind?
How does track and... It really doesn't much. I have different aspects to my life and different aspects to myself. Not because I do this and that means that I want to necessarily intertwine them. I wanted to be in biology for the longest, and I think molecular and cellular biology, especially with cancer treatment, and I thought that, you know what, this field is really great. I have a passion for it. Track was really secondary for me at the time, and I just kept both of them and tried to manage them as best as I could.
So track and field must surely take up second billing, right?
No, track and field is definitely not secondary. I had to learn that over the years. I really started in the 8th grade, and so I was already doing well at school, and I knew what I wanted to do in school. So to have track being added to that at that time made it secondary for me. It was still school and then track. But over the years, I learned that, the best way to be good at both, I have high ambitions and I like to do well in anything I do at all, because I'm not going to waste time and I'm not going to waste the energy. So I learned to treat both of them equally, and that is how I'm doing so well, and I've made up my mind for everything I'm doing.
There.
In the 800 meter.
Yeah.
There you go. So of course he's using track and field to help with his academics, and the other way around, academics to help with his track and field. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other.
But there were sometimes there are parents who will say they don't want you to do these extracurricular activities because they think it hinders your education. I've heard parents saying that,
Javon Blake is proving them wrong.
I knew of one parent telling their son who had liked swimming per se, and I don't want you swimming anymore because you have your schoolwork to study, or don't play pan because you have your schoolwork to study, or don't do this because you have schoolwork. But it helps. Those little extracurricular activities do help a whole lot. You understand? So
definitely love to see a youngster his age speaking so eloquently, man.
Sure. Hey guys, time for us to wrap this morning. Just about 15 seconds or so before BBC News here on K105. As we say goodbye for Good Morning Grenada. Say goodbye to our television viewers. Yeah, goodbye to our television viewers or social media viewers also. All the best until tomorrow. Have yourself a great day. BBC News is next.
Have a good one, guys.